Welcome to today's meditation time. We have been on this journey the last several times together, looking at all these different energy centers throughout our body and trying to figure out how, through our meditation practice, we can connect to this vibrant and powerful energy that we all possess. But also at the same time recognizing that there are things we go through in life that sometimes cause that energy to be a little muted or sometimes a little overactive. And then knowing that our meditation practice, our time on our mat, our time on our cushion, whatever that looks like for you, is truly a way to bring it all back into balance. And so let's do that together tonight. Let's just sit up nice and tall, gently close your eyes or cast them down toward the ground and just begin to take a nice, slow, deep breath in. And then gently let that go. Nice slow breath in and release it out. And breathing in and breathing out. And then let's just each settle into our pace, our rhythm of whatever we need the breath to do for us across these few minutes. And as we're settling in, we are on this incredible energy center known as AJNA in Sanskrit. We know it in English to be the space right between our brows, right in the center of our forehead. And it's not so much the concept of this third eye that really gives its meaning. It's the concept of the internal gaze. You know, we have these two seeing eyes that we often close when we come to meditation because they are our windows to look out around the world at all the things around us. But this third eye, the spot right there that's symbolized in the center of our forehead, it is the eye of looking inward. Both serve a purpose. We don't get rid of our outward vision because it is so important to our everyday life and being a part of this world. But our way of being a part of the world needs to be grounded in how that third eye begins to see internally. What we see when we stop looking around and we start looking in. That is AJNA. And so like we've done with each one of these, I'd like just to share with you the different ways of approaching this concept of AJNA, the third eye, so that hopefully one of these will resonate with you. When we think of the third eye, AJNA, the color that is associated with it is purple. This violet shade of purple. Sometimes a little light, sometimes a little dark, but it is this kind of shifting and changing, beautiful shade of purple. And so just see it right where you are. Whatever shade comes up into your mind's eye, just see it. Violet. And that is AJNA. The sound that's associated with AJNA, each of these energy centers has had a bija mantra, a vibration that goes with it. And I think that the reason that this energy center resonates higher with me than all the others is because the mantra that's associated with it is the mantra of Om. Each mantra, each sound is powerful in and of its own right, of its own creation. But there's something about the sound of Om. It is this basic sound of all other sounds. We're told that it's actually the primordial sound from which all other sounds arise. It's the foundation. And so when we think about AJNA, the way to really reset ourselves and get us back on track, trusting this internal eye, this internal vision, is just to say the sound Om, Om, Om. And then I would invite you, if you need a visualization, if you need something to help you really give you a concrete representation of what this energy center represents, I would invite you just to think about, you've seen stories, maybe you've seen a book or a movie, or you've read an essay or a clipping I would invite you just to think about a story of a Native American tribe. It doesn't matter so much specifically which tribe it is, because it is a tradition that we've seen in many Native American cultures. But you have this person, this grandfather, and he always has these wrinkled, weathered spots on his face and these strong hands and this very soft gaze across his countenance. And you always see, whether it's in a movie or in a story or in a book or like I said, in a news article, whatever it is, you always see the younger people in the tribe going to him for counsel, trusting his wisdom, trusting his knowledge, his insight. And when they look upon him and they ask him questions, his face doesn't change. It still stays softened and compassionate and still. And the reason I like to use that visualization is because AJNA is our discernment. It is our insight. It is our wisdom. And when you look inside and you begin to trust your discernment, it's the same way of being a young Native American looking upon the face of this grandfather, this patriarch of the tribe, and feeling safe with the counsel that he's giving you. And I give you that analogy because I want you to eventually feel safe with the counsel that you're giving yourself through this internal gaze. And so the affirmation that goes with this, it's the color purple, this violet shade. The sound is Om. The visualization is this wise old grandfather in the tribe. But the affirmations, the words say, I trust my discernment. I trust my insight. I trust me. I trust my discernment. I trust my insight. I trust me. We don't have to go to the caves on the side of the mountain and spend hours every day in meditation to get to the point that we can trust our own discernment. And there's another reason why I think I love the fact that Om is associated with it, because the symbol of Om, it sits behind me every time I sit here in my meditation space. It hangs around my neck every day. This symbol has all of these different curves, all of these different little shapes to create one symbol of Om. And within that symbol, one of the little curves represents us when we're fully awake. And another curve represents us when we're in deep sleep. And another curve represents us when we're in our dream state, which means it represents the whole us. But then there's another part to this symbol where there's a curve at the top that represents all the stuff of the world, the noise and the distractions and the things that we go through as part of this human experience. And then the final part of the shape is this little bitty dot right above all the stuff of the world. And that's the spot of us getting to a higher level of consciousness, being able to connect to however we see the divine force in this world to be. And I love that the symbol of Om represents this energy, because what it means is, even with all the distractions of the world, even during the moments of my life when I'm asleep, not physically asleep, but whenever I'm not fully aware, when I'm just asleep in how I'm living and being, or in the moments of my life when I'm in that dream state and I'm not fully conscious of reality, even amidst all those parts of me, I can still trust my discernment, trust my insight, trust me. And I think that's the most beautiful lesson that this energy center tells us. It reminds us we've already got everything in us that we need to choose well. We've already got everything inside of us that we need to know what to do next. It just gets clouded up by all the distractions of the world, which is why it asks us to look within. And so I would invite all of us just to sit here and just find some quietness, each for ourselves. And even if you're on a path or a part of the path right now, where you've doubted yourself a lot, or things have happened where you've doubted the decisions, you've doubted if you're even on the right leg of the path right now, I would encourage you to let this be the moment that you pause and you stop where you are and you learn to trust again. So just settle into the breath. And remember, I can trust my discernment. I can trust my insight. I can trust me. And as we each just continue to sit right where we are, I'd like to begin to close our time with just our connection back to the sound of Om. For some of us, that is a new concept, this idea of these mantras, these vibrations. For some, it's very, very familiar. But the reason we're given these bija, these seed mantras for each of these energy centers within us, is we use them as a reset. I wear this symbol Om around my neck every day, and I find myself throughout the day just holding on to this pendant with my hands, having a reset. Without even chanting the sound or saying the sound, I'm reminded, this present moment, I start again. And so what I'd like to do is I'm going to take 3 slow breaths in and out. And as I exhale, I'm going to chant the sound of Om collectively, individually, for myself, for those that are listening. You're welcome to chant it along with me. You're welcome to listen. You're welcome to let my vibration fill the space. But whatever you're hearing as I say this sound, I encourage you to keep saying to yourself, I trust my discernment. I trust my insight. I trust me. I'm going to take a long, slow breath in. Breathing in. Breathing in. From this moment and in this moment, connecting to the energy of that third eye, that internal gaze that connects me back to the divine creation within me. I trust my discernment. I trust my insight. I trust me. Namaste.